pair of standard, I mean, they're standard oyster tongues. Standard size. This size than any other one made here in the area. 16 tooth. All it is 16 teeth on the bar, and matching set from one side to the other. They work like two brakes, and then they just scrape the bottom, scrape the oysters up in it into a pocket or into this area here, and pick them up and dump them on the boat. The nails to hold them on, the copper rivets to keep the ends from splitting out. The little copper rivet that goes at the end of the stale is to keep it from splitting at the end of the stale when you drive that first nail through. And then everything else is just help hold it in place. But they'll put like 1/4-inch bows in it to make the basket, or to make the, fill the basket up where the oysters won't come out of it. This guy opted to make the heads a little lighter. He'll put he may put coat hangers in it, or he may put some of the stainless welding rods that you can buy, the 3-footers. Just put those in there, and it makes a form of a basket. This is what he'll do when he gets them home. He'll run this wire through them like this, and it makes a basket. Where when you put the oysters, when the oysters come up in it, that they don't come out through the big places here. This one, my dad's pair. They're probably 45 years old. I mean, they look almost brand new. The teeth are brand new in them almost. Those were built in. This pair here was built in Baltimore, Maryland, in that area, Chesapeake Bay area. This is a 20-foot Bosarge style boat. It was it's 6 foot wide across the bottom. It's a little over 30 inches in the bow. It's 32 inches in the bow, about 2 foot deep in the stern. It's got roughly 8 inches of V in the front of it. It's built out of marine plywood. It's got 1/2-inch marine plywood on the sides, 1/2-inch marine plywood on the bottom. It's framed with treated pine, and it's fastened with stainless nails and stainless bolts. It was started by my Uncle Floyd Bosarge probably in the late 60s. He started building skiffs, and he's modified it over the years, and this is the look that it came up with. It's nice trim lines to it, useful for pleasure, for commercial, whatever someone wants to do with it. It was kind of an all-purpose boat that fit, would fit what anyone wanted to do with it.
My dad was I learned it from him, I guess. He was he done it all of his life. He's a commercial fisherman up until the day he passed away. And so I started this here when I was about fooling with nets when I was about 7 years old. Of course, I was still going to start at school, but he had a small boat, and I learned to cut his nets on the boat. I'd cut a little hole and patch it, cut a little hole and fix it, till I learned how to do it. And one day he had built a brand new net, had just dipped it, had all good, fresh, painted, and I decided I was going to learn how to patch. So I took a string with some white twine, and I cut little holes all through that net, patched it. Boy, he tanned me good.
What I'm hanging now is 3 1/4, and the points, what you call the points, is 3 3/8. Well, that's bars. See across there? It's all bars. See down here? All these nets like this, they all, according to what size the webbing is, how you hang it. All the hangings ain't ever the same now, if it's like say 1 3/4, 1 7/8, or 2 inches, well, it'll be a different hanging on it. Like this here is 3 3/8 on the point.
No, this is the same as it was 50, 60 years ago. Well, what used to, they come out, long years ago they make needles out of a piece of cane, cut the needles out, and then they went to plastic needles. They went to plastic needles about 40 years ago. Then they switched to plastic, not because plastic broke so easy. They switched to nylon. This is nylon here, so they don't hardly ever break them. But they've been using these here as far back as I can remember.
The history of this company, like say Master Marine started in 1961, I came here in 1978. it was the evolution of the shrimp boat was very interesting. It was like some years you'd have 18-foot wide boats, and the next year they'd be 19-foot and then 20-foot, and so it was like kind of a trial and error that really the shrimp boat actually evolved to what was economically most optimum for, you know, being productive in the shrimp grounds. And we saw, you know, the change in material probably in the 60s. Most of the shrimp boats were wooden. There was some fiberglass boats that were built in other places that didn't really work out so well for whatever reason. And pretty much the steel trawler emerged through trial and error, it seemed like, as the boat of choice. And pretty much those boats ended up being 75 by 22 foot wide. Even though that some years we'd see wider boats, and it would seem like they would come back to 22 foot again. And like I say, a lot of this was because the people were craftsmen and they just kind of tried this and see what happened. Now what we see is that you have naval architects that bring their expertise and the sea kindliness of that hull form and different things that I'm not sure they're any better, but that's certainly the state of the industry. Master Marine's a little different in that we have 2 floating dry docks, and we basically repaired. We're the only dry docks in the area, so for many years, many decades, we actually were the repair. We repaired a lot of the shrimp boats, and so we saw the different hull forms. We saw the types of boats and which ones were more productive. We also repaired a lot of wooden boats, and that's pretty much a lost art now. The Landry family was local here, and they built wooden boats for years. And when you pull a wooden boat out, where the seams, where the boards come together, you have to caulk that area. So when the wood dries out, somehow when you put it back in the water, it doesn't seal unless you have new caulking. And even that's an art, how you install the caulking. And I know that you know, we had certain subcontractors that we'd try to find. The Zerlots seemed like they were very experienced in wood boat building, the Zerlot family. And I'll tell you right now, if we had a wooden boat to work on, I think we'd be hard-pressed to find people with the expertise of replanking or recaulking. I think that's pretty much you know, an art that we've kind of lost.